people's laughter at said witty comments soar higher than a plane, or simply to pull off wearing tights, no questions asked. Tonight, Joshua is going to be telling his story, The Spider, the Turtle, and Me. Please welcome to the stage Joshua Levy.
Could you just stay on the stage just for a second? And can Laura Louise also come up? Because it's 4th year, and Raconteurs has turned 4. So we have a little cupcake birthday for you guys, which I'll try not to get all over you. All right, can you hold that for a second? All right, this is very complicated when everyone's looking at you. So you're 4. And if everyone could help, because I'm hopefully a better storyteller than a singer, we're going to sing Happy Birthday to the Raconteurs. Well, here we go. All right, well, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So the last few days, I've been talking a lot about superheroes with a 5-year-old named Jerry. And Jerry, right now, probably this moment while we're all here, is getting into his bed and going to sleep in his room downtown Toronto at the Sick Kids Hospital. And I met Jerry a few days ago through my work at Make-A-Wish Foundation, where we grant wishes to terminally or life-threatening illness children like Jerry. Jerry's been at the hospital for the last few months, and he might be there for a little while longer. So I met him, I think 3, maybe 4 days ago, and I walked into his room, and I say, "Hey Jerry, I'm here, we're gonna grant you a wish, any wish, what do you want? Have you been thinking about what you want your wish to be?" And he says, "I sure have." I said, "Great, what is it? What do you want?" And he goes, "Nah." I'm like, no, Jerry, you can tell me. So he goes, "Okay." He was cuter than I am right now. He's like, "Okay." And he says, "Well, do you know Spider-Man?" And spoiler alert, I do not know Spider-Man. So I don't want to lie to a child. So I say, "No, I don't know him." And he goes, "Yeah, me neither." And he looks very sad. And I say, "Well, what would you do if you met him? Because, I know someone who knows someone who went to camp who was next door neighbors, and he's like best friends with Spider-Man. So I can introduce you." So, yes, I just lied to a sick little boy. But he's really excited. He goes, "Wow, well, I would use my superpowers and the web slingers, and we'd catch the bad guys, and then we'd punch them in the face, and then everyone would buy us grilled cheese, and we'd have a dance party in my bed." Which I was like, duh. Of course that's what you do with Spider-Man. Yeah, let's look that up. And he goes, Can I ask you something else? And I say, "Yeah, go for it, Jerry." And he gets very serious, and he kind of leans in, and he says, "Do you think Spider-Man poops out of his bum?" So I was like, "That's a very existential question, Jerry." And his mom looks at me, and the mom says, "Well, Jerry's having an operation next week to have his intestines reversed because he was born the wrong way, and he's going to be able to go to the bathroom by himself properly for the first time ever." And Jerry says, "Yeah, Mom, it's going to feel weird, right, when it comes out of my bum." And I realize, this is serious. And I see that Jerry's wearing a Spider-Man shirt this whole meeting. And behind his bed, where they have all these wires, he has a huge Spider-Man poster on the wall and figurines. And obviously superheroes are very important to him because he needs this. He doesn't have super strength, right? He doesn't even have 5-year-old boy strength. He can't even poop. So he needs something to look up to. And I know that when he lies in bed at night, he probably looks at the window in the sick kids hospital and imagines going to the window and opening it and jumping and falling and then using his web slingers to shoot up and attach to the building, and then going around the building to another building and going across Toronto and landing on the CN Tower, and then making his way down the CN Tower and spinning a web across the mouth of the Sky Dome and walking across. And he needs this to keep him going. So I'm trying hard in the last few days to get him to meet Spider-Man. We're putting something together. And it reminded me a lot of when I met a superhero, because I've been lucky when I was a kid to meet a couple. So I'm going to take you back now to 1990, the summer of 1990, which you may, when I say 1990, you may think of, I don't know, Berlin Wall coming down or Mandela getting out of prison. But not, for me, I thought of it as this tie-dye swirl of gigantic, oversized Bart Simpson t-shirts and those really cool Reebok pumps that were too expensive. And, you know, CNC Music Factory had a song that was like, everybody dance now. Bow, 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 bow. You know the one. So it was also the first summer that I went to camp. I'm all excited. I'm going to be away from my parents for the first time, and I get to camp, and I meet my new friends and my counselor, and I'm all excited, and we go into the bunk, and I go to sleep that night, and I'm all pumped. And the next morning, my counselor wakes us up, and he goes, guys, time to get up. We have a swim test this morning, so wear your swim trunks to the waterfront, and let's go. We're going to have a great day. It's going to be awesome. And then he played like Everybody Dance Now or something. And we all got up and went for breakfast, because I'm tight. So, got it back. So we go for breakfast, and I'm having pancakes. And I'm looking up in the Great Hall, and there's all these plaques on the wall from chronicling all the different years of the camp. And there's 60s and 70s, and goes back to 1950s. And I see there's a lot of pictures of turtles, of drawings of turtles. And there's a lot of drawings of children running away from the turtles. I'm a little disturbed because I'm a neurotic child, now a neurotic adult. And I feel like I'm looking up in this cave of this once great civilization, you know, chronicling its slow demise. And now it's time, the counselor's like, let's go over swim test. So we go to the waterfront, which is this lake. And I get in, and I'm swimming, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm on my last lap, and I'm all excited to get my deep test. And then I start to hear a lot of commotion and yelling around me, and I think, wow, everyone's really supportive here. But right in the water, about 4 feet from me, was a snapping turtle about this big. And it was ugly. It was, how do I describe it? It looked like if you had Jaws and Jurassic Park, and they had a love child, and they dropped it right next to me, it would look like this. So it was just kind of chomping at the water, 4 feet. I was the only one still in the water. And it was looking at me with his beady little ugly eyes. And snapping turtles look like snapping turtles look in pictures. They're very, very ugly creatures. And it's keeping eye contact with me, and it's slowly going into the water, and it's just his eyes, and then it's submerged completely. And I lose it, and I beeline for the dock, and I get up, and the lifeguard comes over to me and says, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, the turtles are seen like once every 5 years. You'll never see them again. You have nothing to worry about. Which, obviously, lifeguard doesn't know me because I am neurotic. I worry about a lot of things. I worry about a lot of things that are a lot less important than a snapping turtle trying to eat me. So I make it my maxim to never go in the water again the entire summer. I'm going to be on the beach. I'm going to be making sandcastles. I'm going to be making moats. I'm going to get really good at taking that wet sand. It needs to be exact right amount of wetness, and you kind of make the little spirals on the castle. I'm going to be really good. And I do this for most of the summer, and the counselors try to get me to go in the water, and they can't. And then I speak to the owner of the camp, the director, Maury Stein. And he's this guy that we all look up to, and he says, Josh, you're going to have only one villain in your life that you're really going to have to pay attention to and conquer, and that's fear. And if you can go in the water, you're taking that first step, you can accomplish anything. And I really look up to him, so I go into the intermediate section for like like a minute, and I get out. And then that night, the whole camp comes together every night right before dinner. If any of you have ever gone to sleepaway camp, the whole camp comes around, and you have announcements of what did what and what we're gonna do tonight. And sometimes the owner gives out awards to people who've done something nice. And this is where I want to pose to you that I think that Maury Stein is a superhero. So I want to ask you, because I've been thinking about it, what makes a superhero? What's the definition of a superhero? It's hard to define. If you think it's super strength or super speed, I mean, Maury has that because he used to be an All-American linebacker and he took his team to the championships in college. He's a very strong guy, but it can't be a superpower, right? Because Batman doesn't have superpowers. And it can't be that they just fight crime or any police officer would be a superpower, right? It's got to be something else. I'm not sure what it is, but I know that he has it. And his ability, most superheroes, they fight crime, but he made good guys. He fought good to raise it up, and he elevated me, and he did. I wanted to share with you, maybe some of you in this room have never seen or heard a superhero, but he gave this moment of me going in the water such gravitas that it really moved me. And I was just looking at it, and I actually have a clip of the summer of 1990 when I was 9, and you can hear how much importance he puts to this one moment, which I think is, his superpower. So now that I've buttered you up with the cupcake, I'm going to break protocol and be a prop storyteller. And I wanted to just play you like a 20-second clip of this moment in my life from 1990 and how he takes this insignificant moment of jumping into the intermediate section, which by its definition is not as good as the advanced section, but he made it such an important moment in my life that I wanted to play you the clip. It's from 24 years ago.
This is a major accomplishment. We have a lot of major accomplishments during the summer, and
Well, that's why this doesn't work. That's why you're not supposed to have props. No. So you could hear though in the first few seconds that he says this is a major accomplishment. We have a lot of major accomplishment. This is a big moment in a young man's life, and he gives the moment such gravitas, and then calls me over. And this moment really affected me, and it was, if you will, my origin story. I'm a superhero in training, and I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way slowly. And from that moment, he gave me the confidence to get my deep test and to do swim races and to become a national lifeguard and to win an Olympic medal. And no, I didn't. Not the last one, but I'm on my way. And really affected me, and I think of him as a superhero. And I would love someone like Jerry to be able to meet him. But he died in a plane crash in 1994, so he can't. But at his funeral, his children gave a speech about him, and I feel like it's the best definition that I know of what a superhero is, if you want one. And the poem was, 100 years from now, it will not matter how much was in my bank account, or what kind of clothes I wore, or how big my house was. But the world will be a better place because I was important in the life of a child.